They were trying to climb on her van to steal her bikes. What a lovely view to wake up to. I'm over at my Preston park up. I've been using this one quite a bit, most nights to be honest. It's just, as I say, free parking, and I don't have to worry. But it's been a bit of a busy week, and the bed's been down quite a while. So I just need to sort the van out today, get it straight a little bit, get the seats back up, get some space, and get myself sorted. It does happen. Some days you just, when you've got a bed that you're putting up and down all the time, some days you just don't want to put it back up, knowing that you just go into work and then you're just jumping back into bed, you know, in the evening. So yeah, I tend to leave it down quite often, but when I'm on a day off or anything else, I tend to get the bed back up and make use of the small space that I have in the back of the van. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to take a walk and go and grab a coffee. Let's give the bedding a shake and get it rolled up. What a lovely morning. Now they're doing a lot of work down here. I think it's to protect some of the businesses from the sea, which is good. I wonder what it's going to work out like. So the rain has come in, which is a bit of a pain. I think it's going to be in for the day, to be honest. So I'm just going to be chilling in the van today, probably watch some TV and just chill really, enjoy my day off. But last night I probably had the worst night I've had. Since I've been doing van life, I've not had a problem. And I normally, when I do park ups, I like to park up in a place where there isn't too many vans. But at this particular park up, there is quite a few vans now, and a lot of people are staying a long period of time, and I don't know if that's a bearing on it. But last night, I got back to the van and I could hear a woman crying and having a bit of a set to, which was concerning. But I didn't get out the van. It was quite late at night, and I just thought, you know what, it's Saturday night, people are out, people are drinking, that sort of thing. But then I had two red cars shooting down this dead end and back up at about 60 miles an hour, which was frightening because my head in bed is at the other end, which is roadside. And I was thinking, my God, if they lose control of those cars, any of these vans, we're going to have it. And it was pretty frightening, to be honest. And I've not had anything like that. And then to top it off, there's a van down the end with just a young girl in, and there was guys down here trying to break into a garage just opposite, and then they were trying to climb on her van to steal her bikes, to the point where she called her boyfriend, who lives locally, to come down because she was that frightened. And she came out and they started throwing stones, called the police, and the police said, well, you know what, if they carry on and you know, take it any further, let us know and we'll come down. Like, they're climbing on her van trying to steal her bike, and they are throwing stones. Like, it's just insane. I couldn't believe it. But that is probably the worst experience I've had since being in a van. So it does happen, and it's what you're gonna maybe get if you are parking in, you know, an area where there's lots of vans. It does draw way more attention, whereas obviously I do more stealthy park ups usually, and it's usually just me, maybe one other, and it's very low key. So be careful out there if you are doing van life, especially if you're a girl, because, you know, that must have been pretty frightening. And to top it all off, I have just spilt drink all down my front, so I'm gonna have to change my t-shirt, but I'm gonna head off. I think the sun is coming out, which is really nice, and I'm gonna go and grab some lunch, I think, and see what trouble we can get up to. So I have been doing my homework into places to rent, that sort of thing. Since the last video, I've inquired about a few places as well, just to see what the score is, but they're just so expensive, and there's so many rules as well. So most of them won't take pets, which is fine, but a lot of them won't have children, which is obviously an issue for me because I've got Aussie, and yeah, it's a difficult one. So I don't know how that would work. It's just crazy how things are at the moment. I mean, it's so expensive to live. I really don't know how anyone who is single and working can actually afford a place to live that is nice, you know. It is crazy. And I've been speaking to a lot of the guys parked along Preston, where I'm parked up at the moment. There's loads and loads of vans, and they're coming from far and wide, and I'm seeing vans all the time. Van life has become an absolute choice for a lot of people to cope with the cost of living, and it's not surprising, you know. It's not surprising. You were just throwing your money away. And I was looking at, well, I was talking to, funnily enough, a friend of mine that is looking at my diesel heater to get it fitted up, and he buys in vans, kits them up and sells them, and some of them are expensive, I'm not going to lie, but the conversation we had is, you know, even if you're paying monthly, you know, on a loan or a finance on a van of a good level, it's still cheaper than rent for a 1-bedroom place in a shared house, which is crazy. And at least that money is then paying off something, whereas if you rent, what's going to happen is obviously you're just throwing good money after bad, and nobody wants to do that. So even if you are thinking about van life, I think even if you are paying out quite a bit for your van, which is something that I've never done. Obviously, I've always talked about how you can do it very cheaply, but if you are thinking about doing it, it's not going to hurt even paying or financing your van, because if you're living in it, it's just replacing your rent, but you're paying something off, so you've still got the van at the end of the day. So even if things don't work out, you can sell your camper van, and if it's a good build, a good camper van, it's well looked after, well maintained, you're going to get a lot of that money back, for sure. Whereas, you know, you could be paying more on rent for years and years, and when it comes to an end, you're not ever going to have anything from that. So even if your van depreciates, you've got something, you're getting something back, which makes so much difference. So there's a lot of things to think about, there really is, and how I'm going to do things going forward. But I really can't see me renting, I really can't. I might stay in this van obviously through Christmas into the new year, but it's something I'm going to look at in the new year for sure. Because obviously I've got the money in this van as well, so obviously that's again something which I can put down as a deposit on something bigger. Maybe I can learn how to build out a van myself, and that would really cut down the cost, get some help, yeah, and do it that way. But if for me to find a place that's going to be happy for me to have a child, and be cost effective for me enough to be able to, you know, work full time and run a house and the bills, I think it's going to be a massive struggle. I really do. And I just don't think it's the right road to go down. But we shall see. There's still the opportunity later on to be able to save for a deposit and buy a place. And again, at least then if you're doing that, you've got something for your money, you know. But I definitely don't want to rent. But I am thinking bigger van, a little bit more luxury, might be the way forward. We shall see.